This is the IELTS listening test. You will hear a number of different recordings, and you will have to answer questions on what you hear. There will be time for you to read the instructions and questions, and you will have the chance to check your work. All the recordings will be played once only. The test is in 4 parts. At the end, you will be given 10 minutes to transfer your answers to an answer sheet. Now turn to Part 1. Part 1. A woman calls a DIY center to inquire about a woodworking course she saw advertised. First, you have some time to read questions 1 to 6. Now listen and answer question 1 to 6.
Good afternoon, Woodworks DIY Center. This is Darren speaking. How can I help?
Hi Darren, I came across your flyer at the library about a weekend woodworking course, and I was hoping to get a bit more information.
Of course. We run several courses throughout the year. Are you referring to the Weekend Woodworking for Beginners course?
Yes, that's the one.
Great. It's a hands-on course designed for people with little to no experience. Over the weekend, participants learn the basics of working with wood, how to use basic hand tools, and how to build a small item, usually a coffee table or stool.
That sounds like exactly what I'm looking for. I've always wanted to get into carpentry, but didn't know where to start.
You're not alone. A lot of people join for that reason. The course runs on Saturday and Sunday from 9 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. with a break for lunch and shorter tea breaks in between.
That's a full day.
Yes, but it's structured in a way that's manageable. You'll alternate between demonstrations, supervised practice, and building your project step by step.
Sounds good. When's the next available weekend?
Let me check. We have one scheduled for the 15th and 16th of June. That's Saturday and Sunday. We also have a second session on the 29th and 30th, but that one is nearly full.
I think the 15th and 16th would work better for me.
Great. We still have 4 spaces available for that weekend. The course is held at our main workshop on Edison Road, about a 10-minute walk from the city centre.
I know where that is. Do you offer parking?
Yes, we have a small free car park at the back of the building, or you can use the pay and display lot across the street.
Perfect. And how much does the course cost?
It's £120, which includes materials, safety equipment and refreshments. If you're a student or unemployed, we offer a 20% discount.
I work full-time, so I guess I'll pay the full amount.
No problem. That price includes everything. You don't need to bring any tools or materials. We provide everything you'll need, including gloves, safety goggles, aprons, and the wood you'll use.
Good to know. What should I wear?
Just something comfortable and practical. We suggest long sleeves, closed-toe shoes, and clothes you don't mind getting a little dusty.
Got it. Do I need to register online?
You can register online or over the phone. Since we're speaking now, I can take your details and hold your place until payment is confirmed.
Great. Go ahead.
Can I take your full name?
Sure. It's Laura Pennington, Pennington.
Got it. And your contact number?
It's 07864592011.
And your email address?
laura.penn.1987@quickmail.com.
Thank you. Once you complete the payment, we'll send a confirmation email with a full course schedule, a location map, and safety guidelines.
Before you hear the rest of the conversation, you have some time to read questions 7 to 10. Now listen and answer questions 7 to 10.
We also ask participants to complete a quick safety questionnaire before attending. I'll include a link in the email. It takes about 3 minutes.
Sure, I can do that. Is there anything else I need to bring?
Tea, coffee, and biscuits are provided. We have a small kitchenette with a microwave, kettle, and fridge. Just a packed lunch for each day.
Okay, I'll bring something with me. Do I need to bring ID?
Yes, a photo ID is required on the first morning for registration. Passport or driving license is fine.
Noted.
If you prefer not to appear in any photos, just let the instructor know. Oh, And one more thing, we take photos of the finished projects on Sunday afternoon and post them in our monthly newsletter and social pages.
No, I don't mind. That sounds fun.
Good to hear. We also give participants a certificate of completion at the end of the course, which you can collect before you leave.
Nice touch.
And furniture restoration, basic plumbing. We offer things like home repair. Lastly, would you like us to send you future updates about woodworking or other courses?
Yes, please. I'd love to learn more skills.
I'll tick that box for you. You'll get occasional emails with course dates and special offers.
Perfect.
That's everything from my side. Once we receive your payment, we'll lock in your booking and send your welcome email.
I'll take care of it tonight.
Wonderful. Looking forward to seeing you on June 15th, Laura.
Thanks, Darren. I'm really looking forward to it.
You're very welcome. Have a great day.
You too. Bye.
Bye!
That is the end of part 1. You now have half a minute to check your answers. Part 2. You will hear a manager at Willowbridge Arts Centre volunteers introducing new joinees to the Arts Centre. First, you have some time to read questions 11 to 15. Listen carefully and answer questions 11 to 15.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Catherine Lowe, and I'm the volunteer coordinator here at Willowbridge Arts Centre. First of all, let me say how excited we are to have you join our volunteer team. Whether you're interested in visual arts, performance, or just want to support your local community, you'll find something here that matches your interests. Let me begin with a bit of background about the centre. Willowbridge was founded in 1991 by a group of artists and educators who felt that creative opportunities were lacking in this part of the city. With the help of a government grant and a campaign that raised over £50,000, they converted an old textile warehouse into the vibrant community space you see today. We now host over 250 events each year, including art exhibitions, theatre performances, music workshops and school programs. Volunteers play a crucial role in every part of the centre's operation. Some of you will be working in our front-of-house team, welcoming guests, handing out programs and answering basic questions. Others will assist in the gallery space, helping to set up exhibitions and guiding visitors through the collections. And some of you may choose to get involved in our education programs, supporting school visits and hands-on art activities for children and families. Each role comes with its own set of responsibilities, but all of them require a friendly attitude, reliability, and a willingness to learn. You don't need to be an expert in art or theatre. We'll provide training sessions and plenty of support throughout your time here. In terms of scheduling, we ask that volunteers commit to at least one 4-hour shift per week, though you can do more if you like. Shifts are available in the morning, afternoon, and early evening to accommodate different preferences. We also hold monthly volunteer socials where you can meet others and share experiences. Now, some of you have asked about uniforms. There's no formal dress code, but we do ask that you wear your Willowbridge badge while on duty. This helps visitors know who to approach for help. If you're working with children or in food areas, additional hygiene or safeguarding guidelines will apply, and we'll go over those later today. Finally, one of the highlights of volunteering here is the annual Community Arts Festival, which takes place each summer. Volunteers help run stalls, manage performance schedules, and assist with workshops. Last year we welcomed over 3,000 visitors in just one weekend. That's all for now regarding your roles and general expectations. We'll take a short break and then move on to some insights from our visitor survey and future plans for the centre.
Before you hear the rest of the conversation, you have some time to read questions 16 to 20. Now listen and answer questions 16 to 20.
Now, I'd like to spend the next few minutes going over some results from a visitor survey we conducted earlier this year. We received responses from over 400 visitors, and the feedback has helped us shape future programming and rethink some of our approaches. One topic we asked about was virtual exhibitions. During the pandemic, many art centers began offering online tours and video exhibits. Some visitors still enjoy these digital experiences, particularly for previewing shows or engaging from home. However, others said they felt that virtual formats lacked atmosphere and depth. The consensus seems to be that while these tools are helpful, they don't fully replace the experience of being in the space. Next, we asked about community art projects, things like collaborative murals or sculpture gardens created by local residents. These were incredibly well received. Visitors said such projects made them feel more connected to the center and gave them a sense of ownership. Several even expressed interest in helping to design or lead a future project themselves. We also explored attitudes towards artist talks and panel discussions. While attendance at these sessions has been strong, the feedback was more nuanced. Some visitors praised the chance to hear directly from artists, while others said the discussions could be more interactive or relevant to a wider audience. We are now planning to include Quanda sections and post-event feedback forms to make improvements. Another area we asked about was the gift shop. Many visitors mentioned enjoying the opportunity to buy unique handmade items. However, there were a few concerns about pricing. Some felt that items were too expensive for younger visitors or families. As a result, we've introduced a more affordable product range, including postcards, badges, and small craft kits priced under £5. Finally, we received a number of comments about our outdoor spaces. While people appreciated the sculpture trail and cafe terrace, they asked for more seating and shaded areas. Some also requested small performances, like acoustic music or poetry readings in the garden during warmer months. We're exploring how to make that happen during the next season. Thanks again for your attention and for choosing to volunteer with us at Willowbridge. You'll now head off to your team leaders who'll show you your area, introduce you to fellow volunteers and help you get started. We can't wait to work with you this season.
That is the end of the part 2. You have half a minute to check your answers. Part 3. You will hear two students, Amina and Jack, preparing a joint research presentation for their Cultural Studies course. First, you now have some time to read questions 21 to 25. Now listen and answer questions 21 to 25.
Hey, Jack. Finally caught you. Ready to get this group project sorted?
Oh, definitely. I've been thinking about it all morning. So, have you settled on any particular topic from the list Professor Lin gave us?
Yes, I kept going back to the one on cultural identity and second-generation immigrants. It really stood out to me. It's both timely and rich in content.
I'm with you. There's a lot to unpack. Language, upbringing, values, even food. I think it could make for a really engaging presentation.
Exactly. And there's a personal angle, too. I come from a mixed background family, so I feel quite connected to the subject.
That's great. I think the topic will benefit from your insight. So how do we want to structure it? Chronological, thematic?
Thematic. I think it'll be easier to organize. Maybe we can focus on three main themes: language use, family expectations, and identity conflict.
Good framework. We could open with a brief definition of cultural identity just to give some grounding.
Yeah, we shouldn't assume the audience already understands the concept. After that, we can dive into the themes. I can take on the section about language and code switching, since I've already done some research on it.
That works. I'd be happy to do the section on family expectations. It ties in nicely with some of the interviews I read last semester.
Excellent. And then maybe we both tackle the third theme, identity conflict. That way we can discuss and reflect together during that part of the presentation.
I like that idea. Gives it a conversational feel. What about sources? We need at least 6 academic ones, right?
Minimum 6, but ideally more. I've already found a couple of articles from the Journal of Intercultural Studies. I'll send them your way.
Awesome. I'll dig into JSTOR tonight and look for studies on intergenerational conflict and assimilation pressure.
Before you hear the rest of the conversation, you have some time to read questions 26 to 30. Now listen and answer questions 26 to 30.
Now let's talk about the delivery. Are we doing a live presentation or recording a video?
I checked the course site. Professor Lin wants it live via Zoom, so we'll need to rehearse properly. No pre-recorded submissions allowed this time.
All right, Zoom it is. We'll need to manage our timing carefully. We have exactly 12 minutes total, including the quanda.
I suggest we each speak for about 4 minutes, then save 4 minutes for questions and transitions.
Sounds like a plan. Oh, what about an opening hook? Something to grab attention right from the start?
Maybe a quote or a rhetorical question, like can you belong to more than one culture at once? That could set the tone nicely.
Great idea. I can lead with that and then move into our objectives.
Also, just a reminder, we need to include at least one academic theory. I was thinking of using Stuart Hall's theory of cultural identity.
Good call. His framework fits our content perfectly. I'll read up on it tonight so we can reference it smoothly.
Let's also practice our transitions. I've seen presentations lose points because the speakers didn't link their parts well.
Agreed. We can rehearse handoffs like now Amina will explain the language dynamics, simple cues to keep it cohesive.
When do you want to do the first run-through?
How about Tuesday afternoon? That gives us 2 full days to revise after.
Works for me. I'll also email Professor Lin just to confirm whether the quanda counts toward the 12-minute limit.
Good thinking. I'll finalize my slides by Monday night.
Same. Let's plan to meet online Sunday evening to review content and polish it all.
Sounds like we're on track. Thanks for coordinating everything.
Good. And let's remember to use Harvard referencing. Professor Lin's strict about that.
No worries. I'll get the reference manager set up today.
Great. I feel like we're off to a solid start. Let's aim to draft our sections by the end of the week.
Agreed. Then we can combine everything and start practicing our timing.
That is the end of the part 3. Now you have 30 seconds to check your answers. Part 4. You will hear a seminar about the history of vaccination. First, you have some time to read questions 31 to 40. Listen and answer question 31 to 40.
Good afternoon, everyone. In today's lecture, we'll be examining the history of vaccination, one of the most significant developments in medical science. From its primitive origins to modern immunization programs, vaccination has played a central role in controlling infectious diseases and extending life expectancy around the world. Let's begin with the earliest known practices. The roots of vaccination go back more than 1,000 years. In ancient China and India, practitioners used a technique known as variolation to prevent smallpox, a deadly viral disease that had plagued humanity for centuries. Variolation involved introducing material taken from smallpox sores, either powdered scabs or fluid, into the body of a healthy person. This was usually done through inhalation or small cuts on the skin. The individual would often develop a mild form of the disease, but would then become immune to more severe infections. While variolation carried risks, including death, it was significantly safer than contracting smallpox naturally. The method spread from Asia to Africa and eventually reached the Middle East and Europe. By the 18th century, variolation was commonly used in parts of Europe, but it remained controversial, especially among religious and political leaders who doubted its safety and morality. The next major development came in 1796 with the work of Edward Jenner, an English physician. Jenner observed that milkmaids who had contracted cowpox, a mild disease found in cattle, seemed to be protected from smallpox. He hypothesized that exposure to cowpox could provide immunity to smallpox. To test this idea, Jenner took material from a cowpox sore on the hand of a milkmaid and inserted it into an incision on the arm of an 8-year-old boy. Weeks later, Jenner exposed the boy to smallpox and found that he did not become ill. This experiment marked the beginning of modern vaccination. Jenner called the new method vaccination, derived from vacca, the Latin word for cow. Despite initial skepticism, his technique was eventually accepted and widely implemented. It was safer than variolation and did not involve the use of actual smallpox material. Over time, vaccination replaced variolation entirely. Throughout the 19th century, scientists began to explore the biological basis for immunity. French microbiologist Louis Pasteur built upon Jenner's work by developing vaccines for rabies and anthrax. Pasteur introduced the concept of attenuated pathogens, weakened versions of viruses or bacteria that could trigger an immune response without causing severe illness. This principle became the foundation of many vaccines used today. As vaccination became more accepted, governments began to take a more active role. In the mid-19th century, some countries introduced mandatory vaccination laws, particularly for smallpox. These measures sparked public opposition and even protests, often centered around concerns about individual rights and government overreach. The anti-vaccination movement, as it came to be known, has existed in various forms ever since. In the 20th century, medical science made enormous strides in vaccine development. One of the most significant breakthroughs was the creation of the polio vaccine. Polio, a viral disease that caused paralysis and death, was a major public health threat throughout the first half of the century. In 1955, American physician Jonas Salk introduced the first successful polio vaccine, which used an inactivated virus to stimulate immunity. A few years later, Albert Sabin developed an oral polio vaccine using a weakened virus, which was easier to administer on a large scale. Mass vaccination campaigns, particularly those led by organizations like the World Health Organization and UNICEF, transformed global health. The most notable success story was the eradication of smallpox in 1980. After a coordinated global vaccination effort, smallpox became the first human disease to be eliminated entirely. This achievement demonstrated the potential of vaccines not just to control diseases, but to eliminate them from the planet. In addition to smallpox and polio, vaccines have been developed for a wide range of infectious diseases, including measles, mumps, rubella, hepatitis, influenza, and more recently, human papillomavirus or HPV. Modern vaccines are produced using sophisticated technologies, including genetic engineering. For instance, some newer vaccines use mRNA, a type of genetic code that instructs the body to produce a harmless piece of the virus, triggering an immune response without introducing the whole virus. The development of COVID-19 vaccines in response to the 2020 pandemic was an unprecedented scientific achievement. Several vaccines were created and authorized for emergency use in under a year, thanks to prior research on similar coronaviruses and major financial investment. The rapid development and deployment of mRNA vaccines, such as those by Pfizer-BioNTech and Moderna, represented a new chapter in immunology. Despite these advances, challenges remain. Vaccine distribution is unequal, with poorer countries often struggling to access supplies. There are also concerns about vaccine hesitancy, a reluctance or refusal to vaccinate due to fear, misinformation, or mistrust of authorities. Social media has played a role in spreading false claims, contributing to a decline in vaccination rates in some areas. Efforts to address these issues include educational campaigns, policy initiatives, and improvements in vaccine manufacturing and storage. Scientists are also working on universal vaccines, designed to protect against multiple strains or types of a virus, reducing the need for annual or repeated shots. Another area of research is needle-free delivery systems, such as patches or inhalable vaccines, which could make administration easier and reduce fear of injections. Advances in biotechnology may also allow for personalized vaccines, tailored to individual genetic profiles or specific immune responses.
That is the end of the part 4. You have now 30 seconds to check your answers. You have now 10 minutes to transfer your answers to an answer sheet.